Next up, we sit down and chat with Chris Zobler, Vice President of Sales for Data and AI in the Americas at IBM, to learn about the IBM Data Fabric, its connection to data intensity, and how SingleStore can help. Hello, I'm excited to welcome Chris Zobler, Vice President of Sales for Data and Artificial Intelligence at IBM. Chris, welcome to our program, to our launch event. Tell us a little bit about your role and your team.
Thank you so much for having me. So as the Vice President for Data and AI across the Americas, my organization is built to do one thing. It is to help our clients unlock the value of data, especially our clients that are living with 30, 40 years of technical debt, where they have legacy applications built on legacy data silos. Now as they try to transform into this new digital era, trying to find ways to not just unlock that data, but to make better informed decisions and ultimately meet our clients where they are, making real-time impact and ultimately driving revenue.
Chris, we've just heard about data-intensive applications. The data intensity comes from increased data sizes, need for lower query latency, need to deal with more query complexity, more ingest rates, more user concurrency. And I'm sure everybody's living this and seeing this and feeling this data intensity, but it's also this legacy. You talked about you mentioned technical debt, legacy that comes with data, for example, siloed data. Many customers talk about this. They have many different data stores. They use only a fraction of the data that is available to them. The IBM Data Fabric. Tell us what the Data Fabric is and how it helps with those data intensity challenges.
So Data Fabric for IBM actually helps unlock access to data itself. So I've been in this industry now 25 years or so. The challenges we're trying to address today are not unique and they are not new. They are the same challenges that we brought up 20, 30 years ago. Ultimately, as we start to look at the next generation of applications, as we look at the current state for hybrid cloud architecture, meaning most of the clients, regardless of industries, are operating across multiple public clouds, private clouds, hybrid clouds, the necessity to get access to governed, trusted data becomes mission critical. Historically, we saw a lot of this around business analytics and driving business intelligence solutions. But as you look at the maturity curve, and as organizations start to look at data science initiatives, and not just science projects, but actually building models in production that will make decisions on behalf of your organization, the ability to do that at scale in a trusted, governed way, not just on the access of the data itself, but on the models that we're generating, is something that IBM is uniquely positioned to do. And our Data Fabric architecture is designed to be deployed across multiple clouds. It is designed to help enforce and drive data governance, and ultimately to accelerate the build and deployment of machine learning models that you as an organization can feel trusted and can really stand behind.
So multiple data sources, multiple data repos, multiple clouds, and the Data Fabric brings it all together with governance. Where does SingleStore and a hybrid transactional analytical database, as we're sometimes called, we do OLAP, we do OLTP, we do real-time analytics, we do operational analytics. Where does a database like this fit into the Data Fabric?
I think it's one of the most exciting things and partnerships that we've started to talk through in recent years, mostly because the world is moving to this real-time, accelerated decision-making approach for everything that we do. We are the Google generation. Every answer to every question is one simple query search away. And that has now moved from getting instructions on how to build a grill, as an example, to getting real-time responses for things around customer care, around product placement, next best action. We just assume that those answers are going to be timely, accurate, and at our fingertips. So SingleStore, combined with the Data Fabric narrative from IBM, is not just something that changes the game from an architecture perspective, because to your point, there are multiple different workloads and multiple different architectures that will have to be brought together in order to build a seamless customer experience and to transform the way that we digitally engage with our consumers. But to do so in this next generation platform where we are designing and building to take advantage of open source and open standards is something that together we are uniquely positioned to bring to market.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about how you enable with this by augmenting, the data fabric with this real-time analytics engine, if you will, that handles multiple workloads that customers can now take advantage of all their data, not just 10 or 20% of it. A conversation we often have with customers and partners is about ESG, about environmental, social, governance practices, and how their business impacts the world. There is an interesting connection here in the ESG conversation with the SingleStore IBM partnership. Tell us about that.
So ESG in the year 2022 has become not just a concept, but it's really front of house. This is the first year that our clients, big or small, have all started to publish their ESG principles. So when we start to take a look at breaking ESG down, again, the partnership that we have here puts us in a unique position to answer and address all three of those entry points. So from an environmental perspective, sustainability, and ensuring that we are actually taking care of the planet that we all love so that our kids and our children's children can actually enjoy this planet as well, is something that we will continue to strive for. The ability to actually bring workloads together, the ability to actually reduce our carbon footprint, especially around global operations where we have data centers across the planet, is something that every organization is looking to do. It used to be that the driver was cost. Cost is always still a key factor here, but now the ability to drive sustainability by reducing that footprint now helps organizations really answer the environmental part of ESG. The social aspect of this also now is the secondary piece that is also top of mind. When we think about social responsibility, we think about making real-time decisions and taking action, but doing so by removing bias, as an example, in some of the decisions that are being made. Whether it's credit cards, whether it's loans and mortgages, whether it's that next best action, being able to make those decisions in a reliable, safe, and trusted manner is something that the unpacking of the black box of AI has really brought to the forefront. So Data Fabric, again, IBM's Data Fabric strategy is to allow organizations to not just find and build new machine learning models, but to actually look at the way that we do model risk management at runtime, back to that real-time narrative. So that way, as decisions are made, we can explain why, we can do so in a transparent manner, and ultimately we can remove a lot of the bias that makes everybody a bit uncomfortable. And the last piece around corporate governance. Access to data, access to repositories is critical. It's why security continues to be at the forefront of many of the conversations we have around managing control. But as we look at organizations that are really moving through that maturity curve and going towards building machine learning models and algorithms in production at scale, access to that information and the ability to prove provenance and data lineage, again in this hybrid architecture world, is really difficult to do. So bringing all of these things together, environmental, social, and corporate governance challenges, and the necessity to do so in a real-time fashion, there is only two organizations on the planet that can bring that together, and it's SingleStore with IBM's Data Fabric that can help our clients transform.
Wow, I'm super excited about this partnership, about hearing about how SingleStore and the Data Fabric together really changed the world, and changed the world for good. And we're so excited and cannot wait to prove this and bring this to our customers and the world. Chris, delightful to have you here today, and thank you for sharing.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Oliver. And the one thing that I will make as a comment, as a believer in the technology, as a believer in what we can do together, I would really encourage everyone to actually try the technology out itself. For those that have been building databases, for those that have been writing queries that have been in this space, the unlocking of the true potential will be realized when you get your hands on the technology, try the digital experience, and prove to yourself that the technology is real. This isn't slideware, this isn't a PowerPoint presentation, this isn't vaporware. Try it. If you try it, you will believe it.